Okay, and it says I am live, which is always a good sign. And yeah, I do have a pulse, so I agree. I probably am live. Just a little, hey, wanted to do a stream outside. Waited the whole dang day. Kept raining all over me. Hi, hi. How you doing, Micah? Kept raining. So the outside first day of summer, just that stream just didn't happen. So I finally said, and decided to come in for a few minutes anyway and say happy Father's Day. Happy first day of summer. Happy Sunday. Very masculine day today. It's a Sunday after the sun, which is considered a masculine element. The Father's Day thing. God, why am I yawning? Jeez. Father's Day and first day of summer. Okay. Hey, Richard. And I didn't announce it. It's my own fault. But I figure people can go back and see it later. Anyway, I'm continuing with my detoxing using magnet therapy. I'm feeling a lot better today, but like all detoxes, you feel crummy for a while when you first started and really crummy, which I did. And then you feel a lot better when it eases up finally. This is going to take a while because I have a feeling this has been going on longer than I wanted to admit. I don't know why I didn't want to admit I had this again. I beat it one time. What made me think I might be immune to it or something? You don't get immune to this, as far as I know. Hi. And I'm talking about the morgues. Morgue. We talked about it in one of my streams. But you can also call it the nano flu, but it goes on longer than the flu. Uh, and this is why I was getting warnings to till we could do something about it, not do not turn on the Wi-Fi any more than I had to, not be in that nimbus of electricity over by my. You saw some of the readings. I mean, we did readings on my place. Some places it's freaking high. To sit there very long, I shouldn't be sitting there very long. If what this is made worse or actually stronger by EMF and Wi-Fi, then my living room is not a good place to sit for very long. And that could be why I was getting the headaches and everything. And it does sort of stand to reason. And I had thought that I was, I thought of it as something in the past. I already thought that. Well, you got to keep brushing your teeth, right? you know, you got to keep taking a bath or a shower. You got to keep washing your hair. You got to keep, there's some things you got to keep doing, right? And getting nanosophy is one of them, I guess, where I am, at least, in a place of we're out in the country, but still a lot of EMF smog because of it being an apartment place. And it's just, but I will say I'm feeling better. I'm still awake, although I'm yawning, which is good at this time of night. At its worst, I was asleep by 7. I was so exhausted. So I am better, and I do feel better. And my helper helped me test for aches and pains because sometimes I don't know that I have them until we hit them with massage or something. And really, my pain level's way down everywhere. I mean, she could actually press very hard on me. See, with fibro, one of the things is you barely touch somebody and they scream because it hurts because the muscles are very tight. Um, I think it's a big part of fibro too. I think all of these autoimmune things are tied up together. Really, I do. I don't think they're separate, really. I think it's just a sabotaging of the immune system. So, from various things, toxins, electrosmog, nano, who knows what else, right? I mean, we don't really know what all is in our environment anymore. A heck of a lot. I know a person who knew every time the brush fires went on in California, she was allergic to it. She would know, she would check, and she would say, "Oh, I think the brush fire started again. Why? Because I'm having my symptoms." Well, see, things get carried in the wind. So it's not separate. This world is not separate, a separate place everywhere. We tend to think separate countries and nations, and how can it hit all the way across? It can. It can blow. Things can blow in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Why you're not feeling so good? It's probably blowing in the wind because it's coming from these sky streaks, for one thing. And then it's coming from different places, burning all kinds of pollution in the air all around the world. Eventually, it finds its way. So, in order to survive it, we got to be smarter than it is. Hey, Max, Vision, John, hi. We need to talk. I want to talk about your thing that you want to build. I don't want to mention it again here, but the fascies. Yeah, I guess I'll mention it that way. The fascies. I want to talk to you about that, and I want to talk to you about uh, some of the stuff I've been making. This antibot stuff. Um, I've got. I'm up to 4 magnetic. Well, I got 3 on this arm and 4 on this arm bracelets. And every time I step it up, I do have some detox effects. But it's worth it because I'm getting rid of this crap. I'm going to get rid of this crap just like I did the last time I did it the last time. I don't know why I couldn't remember how I did it the last time. I just knew, oh yeah, I beat it. I couldn't remember how. And Crystal finds all this stuff. Oh, okay. My dreams are more vivid again. I actually have a lot of dreams again now. A lot of dreaming going on. That's a very good sign because my dreams were blocked for a while. And my third eye is still wavy, gravy right now. It's still there and gone and there and gone and there and gone and there and out and there. Might be getting short circuited, maybe. I know I'm eventually going to get through that. But remember, we are the cavalry riding over the hill. We can't wait for the cavalry riding over the hill. The cavalry riding over the hill is us. We're the ones figuring this stuff out, getting the word out, helping people help themselves and get themselves better. That's us. Okay, we are the cavalry. Oh no, they're depending on us. Oh lordy. But we do this. This is what we do, folks. This is our jam. We do this. Let's face it, we like to win the game. And like I said, I got a bunch of these Let me know if you want some anklets or bracelets. I found out some of these beads I got are, see, hematite that's oh no, here comes the yawns. Hematite that's magnetic isn't really hematite exactly, it's magnetite. So some of these beads are hematite and some of them are magnetite. That doesn't matter because the hematite is still a ferrous material, iron. So I'm thinking in things that don't, oh, and remember, although we find out these things are drawn to metal, they don't like silver. They don't like silver. So that's why I think that's why I had to get the silver impregnated stuff. I guess I just intuitively picked that up. They don't like silver. Mm-mm. So, yeah, silver was one of the things that get rid of them. So I've been using my silver. But the Herx effect is nasty. It just is. You can't. I mean, I know one of my friends, it was funny. She went on a trip and she went on a healing retreat and they had the purest water and she wasn't used to it. And she said all she did was pee all the time. And that's the way it is when you're detoxing. Things will leave your body. That's why it's called detox. It's looking for the shortest way out. Your nose will run, your eyes will water, you'll have to use the bathroom a lot. That is detoxing. Okay. You'll feel crummy for a while. Mm, yeah. A manly necklace would be cool. Okay. So Crystal's making bracelets. I got some anklets. They're a little bigger. A manly necklace. Manly. Yeah, I've been taking silver internally. So this stuff doesn't like silver. Been drinking basically purified water with lemon. And yeah, I can tell. All I'm doing is peeing. That's it. You know, stay close to home if you do this. You'll feel better, but you'll need to be close to home, but close to a bathroom. And yeah, every time I step it up, I can tell. Every time I add another bracelet, what you might want to try is bracelets. Is like starting off small, you know, with a bracelet on each arm, maybe, then a bracelet and anklets, then more bracelets, maybe, or whatever. You might want to gradually step it up because I think if you do too much, uh, you might really hurt yourself. Well, I don't know if you would really hurt yourself exactly, but it probably would be extremely unpleasant. Um, who's Nary? Oh, Barry. Yeah, I've been taking silver a little while. Not as regular as I should. Hey, Barry. And a woman has a manly scream. Okay. Your woman has a manly scream. Okay, who's Nary? I was wondering too, is there somebody new named Nary? But it's Barry. I think he means Barry. Yeah. Um, I've been taking silver not regularly though. I'm going to be taking it regularly after this for sure. That's that's a given. I'm going to get the highest parts per million. They say, oh, you only need 20. You only, oh, well, you know what? I'm a maximalist. I don't want to be minimally healthy, okay? And besides, if I have something that has 20 parts per million in it, that's great. But if I have something that has 200 parts per million, I can put a few drops in some water, some purified water, and have 20 parts per million over and over again in one bottle. So why shouldn't I get the higher quality stuff? I mean, and that's what I've been doing. So yeah, buy a generator, a silver generator. Silver generator. You mean like to make the waters, to make the oh, you can buy them online that you can just. Who said you shouldn't? What, have more silver? Just there comes these stupid recommendations, and I'm like, who comes up with these things? You're not going to get hurt by having more silver, you know? More silver, you're not going to get. Unless you like try to swallow a silver ring or something, you're not going to get too much silver. It's not going to hurt you, okay? Oh, brother, why? It's ridiculous. Anyway, right. Who said you shouldn't have more silver? Well, that's the thing that's getting bandied about when I go to buy my supplements and stuff is, oh, you shouldn't have too much. You only need 20 parts per million. It's like, who says? Yeah, right. Oh, and they say, it's like when they say, okay, they say it. I'm not sure I believe it. I know people who take a lot of silver and gold ormus and take a lot of the uh the just have a lot of silver in their lives, basically, like John, and it's not hurting them. Colloidal silver is not really going to hurt you. you know, it's ridiculous. So, I don't know, maybe they think because people have called it a natural antibiotic, but it doesn't function quite the same way as antibiotics. It's not going to wreck your immune system. See, that's the thing. Antibiotics will eventually F up your gut biome. And actually, they'll do it right away, not eventually. They didn't know that when I was a kid, and they just diagnosed you with stuff, and no matter what they diagnosed you with, they give you some antibiotic, some kind of antibiotic. They give you antibiotic for anything, just to shut you up and send you home with something, with a prescription, thinking it was okay. Right, right. I'm right. It's like, oh, if you have a rare liver disease, it can turn your skin blue. That's not harmful. Yeah, even the guy who has turned blue from that admits that there were other things in the silver. I mean, so it could have been impurities in the silver that did it to him, but he's still very healthy. It didn't make him any less healthy, it just made him blue. So, yeah, oh, very rare. Yeah, probiotics helps with the gut. Yeah. Well, I have kefir sitting there, and I have a quick tip with kefir. It can be a little expensive some places. I cut it by half with milk and let it sit out and let those little bacteria multiply. It's really one of those foods that doesn't exactly go bad. I think the reason they refrigerate it is, remember, this isn't any advice. Don't do this at home. I'm a trained professional. No, I'm not a trained professional. I'm just somebody who's tried this. And I think they just don't want it to explode the container that it's in, because those little bacteria will make it effervescent, and which is kind of fun. An effervescent milk product is kind of interesting. But I love kefir, and it does actually make you feel good. So I learned that you can cut it down by a fourth to a half with, I use whole organic milk. And so as not to have anything in there that would kill the helpful, friendly bacteria. And it makes more. So, as far as that's concerned, and it'll blow up the container a little, because it becomes effervescent, and it's kind of fun, actually. Uh, anyway, fermented food is the way to go. It really, people were fermenting for a reason. Not to just because you had to have some way to preserve food, but because it actually is helpful to our gut biome. So diabetes is common. Yeah, see, I've been avoiding that. I've been managing to avoid it by not using artificial sugars and not using a whole lot of regular sugar either. I mean, I keep in the house, if I want to sugar something, I use the raw crystals, the raw organic crystals. I don't use refined. And it satiates you, and you don't eat as much of it. You can't. You'll stop, because real sugar will do that to you. It'll trip the satiation trigger and make you want to stop eating. So, colloidal magnesium. Good to know. Colloidal magnesium balances blood sugar, says John. Oh, that's cool. Um, I think because our food is no longer endowed with all the minerals it should have because of improper farming procedures, we've just got to take matters into our own hands. There's no other way, folks. There's no other way. You got to do it yourself. You cannot, unless you have a farm where everything there, all of the fruits and vegetables. Even then, though, you don't know what's blowing from elsewhere. That's the problem, is if something like a Monsanto seed lands on your ground and grows, then you can get in trouble for that. It's really sick. Ah, honey and real maple syrup. That's right. Hey, Bomber. Yes, blessed summer solstice. Happy summer. Yeah, our food is, whoa. Oh, my little stand here is kind of depleted, maybe. You need some colloidal minerals, my friend. Anyway, yeah, land needs to go fallow for a little while. It's the way it was always done in the old days. And these days, they do stupid shit. I'm sorry, but it's stupid. If we think we're advanced, but the Indians, my ancestors, okay, on my mother's side, it was always in our family. We knew. You'd put a fish or something in with the seed to give the seed something to eat, the minerals and the humus and whatever. I mean, it helped it grow, you know. My grandmother always lived by a lake. That was just the way. You'd put something in there with the seed to help it grow, to give it some lovely vitamins and minerals to eat while it was growing. There's a very, hi lurkers. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, hi lurkers. You're going to listen and nap? Okay, we'll just sleep program you. Is that okay, Bomber? Yeah, I wanted to go outside today. I kept waiting for it to quit raining, and it never did. And I wanted to do a stream from outside. But how cool would that be? And it never really quit. It just kind of eased off a little bit, and then I thought, okay, it's quitting, and then it would start to pick up again, and then it would ease off, and then it would start to pick up again. And I live in an apartment, so I have to walk all the way down the hall and out the side, and just to check to see if it's really raining. And I can open my windows to a certain extent and tell, but I'd say, oh, it looks like it stopped, and I get out there and it'd be like, oh no, it's starting again. This is Ohio. Every time you want to see something or do something in Ohio, you really, it's a crapshoot as to whether the weather is going to let you do it. Yeah, I know, Bomber. If you didn't see my last couple shows, you need to see them, Bomber. It might help you. The information in there is important. Especially the one that Crystal and John are on. And then the one after that where I'm telling you what I did, what I've done, how it's affecting me. So, yeah, give Bomber some coffee. But no, yeah, go back and see those shows. They're important and they might help you. Okay, so my bracelets and anklets are $5 and $6 respectively, because the anklets are a little bigger. So they're $6. I'm going to keep them relatively cheap. And so if you need some, let me know. And you know how to get in touch with me. Hi, Lewis. Yeah, John from Max Vision is here. Yeah. Like I said, the detox, though, has been really something else. I will warn you. It's nothing to laugh at. I have been having quite a time with it. But I'm glad I'm doing it. Maybe this will actually kick out all the stuff that has been giving me the problems. I'm hoping that it clears up most of the stuff. It may take a little while to see the full effect. But I have been staying as much as possible out of EMF and out of... There's another thing I wanted to warn you about. If you have cords, all cords have a nimbus of electricity around them. And I didn't realize it, but I think I know what happened to hurt my shoulder, my arm. What happened to hurt my arm? It was the side where I had the plug-in from my phone. I had the charger from my phone. And the cord would slither down like a snake and touch my arm. And sometimes it would even go across the bed, and I wouldn't notice. I'd get up, do something, lay down, wouldn't notice the cord is against my back or against my arm, or particularly that spot in my arm. I'd plug in my phone, put it away on the other side of the bed. Over the course of the night, my phone would end up right there where my shoulder hurts, where my arm hurts. I'm like, what if that's it? So I've been making sure to not let that happen. The pain in my arm is going away. So these dang cords, even if they're not plugged, okay, if they're plugged into an outlet, even if you have not got the device turned on, even if they're not connected to a device, but just a charger cord hanging out on its own, or a cord to anything that's plugged in, it has a nimbus of electricity. And if you lean up against it, it will start to do things. It's one of the things these little nanos eat. So you remember, this is in-game chatter only, tips, tricks, and hacks for surviving the game. Okay. So, uh, did you compare the EMF detectors on phone apps to the one you bought? Yes. Very vastly different, of course. The phones, like you said, were detecting all the individual stuff and giving you it like some kind of total of all the stuff you're being exposed to. The other one, I don't know. You know what? My friend Paul explained the whole thing to a guy who was an electrician in the armed services for a long time. He was a military electrician and knows a lot about electricity. And Paul said, "What does this mean?" And explained the whole thing to him. Said, "What does this mean?" The guy says, "Honestly, I don't know." And we're there like, well, if he don't know, I'm sure we don't know. So what does it mean? I don't know. John, you got this kind of head. You tell me, what does it mean? Maybe Crystal will find something. I haven't found anything to tell me what it means. Ah, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know. There's more that are more like the one that we bought. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Paul bought that. He wanted to know. He was the one that actually brought up the EMF stuff in the first place to me. So bringing it back up to him was kind of important. There's a lot of stuff he didn't know about the morgues. I mentioned the morgue disease to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's a tropical thing, right?" It's like, no. If you find a patent on it, that means somebody made it. It was intentionally created, so sorry. And he was surprised at that. It's like, well, don't be surprised. So, yeah, if there's a patent on something, even if it is a life form, because we know Monsanto is patenting life, should this be allowed? You tell me. They're allowing it. Oh, it's all right. It was interesting anyway, Ken. Yeah, I couldn't get on Ken's stream. Everybody sounded like an android. Everybody sounded like AI. And I couldn't quite get on. I don't know what was going on. My phone's been acting a little weird though. So anyway, first day of summer means the days are getting shorter. Better go out and enjoy yourself while you can. The XYZ axis on an EMF detector. I still don't know anything about that. Somebody can point me at a video that explains all that. I'll go watch it. I really will. But the overall output level. Basically, probably a lot of my stuff that would happen when I'd be doing this stream that would I'd start to, like right now, I might be a little too near this cord. I have the phone plugged in. I'm not, oh yeah, I'm not, okay. Hang on. There. Now, that ought to help. Anyway, this is a silver material. Anyway, yeah, Joe from Minnesota even. Yeah, the Aussies were all fine, doing fine. The y-axis damages so badly. Why? Why? Oh, why? Ah, interesting. It does the most damage. Interesting. Well, thank you, Ken. Even though I carry a magic stone around with me instead of wearing a mask. And say, hey, mate, this magic stone protects me. I heard you say that. Giving me a hard time on your show. That's all right. I introduce you as a guy that's gotten himself thrown off of YouTube more than once. Well, it is a feather in your cap after all. You must have been saying something that, was tweaking somebody, right? I'm the lady who goes around with the pretty rocks and saying, no, this is going to protect me. Stay away from me, you mask wearing oafs. Although the magic stone I am wearing recently is the magnetic magnetite, which is also called magnetic hematite. Yeah, Mama D the Jedi again. It was somebody else. The funny thing is, I ran into somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody else, no, it was Amanda Ellis, another psychic, who has somebody sent her a beautiful selenite wand. And she does this, she says, kind of feel like a Jedi when I'm holding this. And I laughed because so do I. For some reason, I pick up the selenite and it glows, the light's glowing from it, and I'm like, vroom, vroom, vroom. I said, oh, you think that's funny? I even make the sounds to go with it. So, hey, Pam, how you doing? Yeah, yeah, one of the Jedi Knights. But don't call me Princess Leia. I think that was maybe some kind of a slur on Leia. You know, like Princess Leia, huh? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Anyway, mm-hmm. Well, I'm laughing a lot, so it can't be all bad. Yeah, it was funny as hell, Ken. It really was. Your stream was funny. You got a bunch of funny friends. But look, saying everything, pal. But no, got a bunch of funny friends. It's hilarious. Oh, you got blocked. Ah, I see. This man knows how to get himself in trouble with the tube. Hi, Pam. Pam, I am. No, wait, you're Pam. I don't have the hat with me. That's in the next room. I've been staying away from that room ever since I saw those really high EMF readings. And people were saying with readings that high, you should be getting hallucinations and portal openings and I'm maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Did I ever did I ever stop to think? I mean, if you had readings that high, portals would be opening. You'd be seeing it. I do. Mm, mm, mm. Well, and why is it that high? I mean, it doesn't really make that much sense to have a hot spot there unless maybe the guy upstairs has something right there. Because all I have is a little dolphin plasma lamp. Oh, and a thing that has its own Wi-Fi. I just happen to think the thing that you call for help. They kind of want you to, after you get past a certain age, have these things that you press for help. That's over there. It might be broadcasting nonstop. Anyway, Whatever it is, I ain't sitting there for a while until I'm sure I'm all the way through this, you know, till I'm sure I'm past a certain point here where I'm not going to get. It has also been hot where I'm not going to get clocked by a bunch of this stuff. It has also been hot as anything here. It's, somebody complimented me on my rainbow hair, on my all colors. I got all kinds of colors in my brown and black and silver and purple. And anyway, Barry can play the banjo with his feet. We're going to have him on one day to prove it. I bet that'd go viral. Yeah. And we could have a sweat lodge without even heating up any rocks. All we'd have to do is pitch a tent and go out there. It would be a sweat lodge. Yeah. Those medic alert things. I stay away from that thing. Yeah. Autumn sunrise. Yeah, I get that joke now. My hair is now autumn sunrise. It's autumn sunrise. Do you like it? It's, I don't know what you'd call this. This is kind of, I just like it. A muso night. Play the mouth organ. Rotman plays the mouth organ. What kind of organ do you put in your mouth? Oh, a mouth organ. Wait. See, guys have tried to trick me with that before. Anyway, some of them call it the skin flute. Oh, are you a musician? Do you play the skin flute? Well, fans, how good looking are you? Anyway, let's see. Who's got a squeeze box? That'd make it complete. Oh my goodness! I used to drive my dad would go. He would just get so upset when the song had come on, squeeze about the squeeze box. The one that went, "Mama's got a squeeze box she wears on her chest, and when Daddy comes home, he doesn't get no rest." He would get upset, say that's so lewd. My mother had to explain to him that a squeeze box was kind of like a poor person's accordion. Okay. It was like an earlier instrument, like an accordion. And you squeezed it. So it was a squeeze box. So she was playing music all night and keeping him up all night playing music. Maybe. Or maybe not. Oh, you play a CD. Oh, well, I bet you're masterful at that. I'm very masterful at playing CDs as well. I've got to show you what my Aunt Mariana's guitar pedal does one of these days when I'm brave enough. I fell in love with this guitar pedal that I heard somebody demonstrate. It's spooky as all get out. It's kind of dark and spooky sounding and weird. And I'm like, oh, I got to have this. I, I couldn't resist. Harmonica is a C, I mean D. I know somebody who plays a harmonica really well. He calls himself RC. Oh, a sitar. Barry's going to play a sitar like Ravi Shankar. It was really funny because when Ravi Shankar came out, they still had sex ed. When they told us about the STDs, with the talk about how you would get a shanker. Not a canker, they'd say, a shanker. Well, a shanker is, Shankar. And so we used to tease about that, give him some flack. But anyway, you're going to be a sitar star? You're going to be Sitarzan? And his Indian band. He's all he can stand. Give him a hand. Okay. Boy, I'm giddy weird today. I am really weird. First day of summer, tra-la, tra-la, tra-la. Yes, it is the solstice. That means it is the longest day. It is the longest day and the shortest night. Yes, that's what it means. Good day to all of you and good evening as well. We're probably going to have a ceremony tomorrow to celebrate. Yippee, yahoo! If I feel good enough, I will fire up, see if I can get the PC going and maybe play the guitar or the drums or do something like that to celebrate. We need to celebrate. Mm-hmm. And probably, yeah, hopefully that'll all work. We'll see how it goes. The 1st of December is the start of the summer and of your summer and your birthday. I'm born in December too. The Dispossessed Weirdos. Sounds like an 80s band. Yeah, that would be a good 80s band. The Dispossessed Weirdos. The Dispossessed Weirdos! We're not worthy! It's a punk band, right? Come up with all these weird punk band names that didn't get taken. You know, there was a thing around here for a while that nobody could come up with a name that wasn't taken. As soon as they came up with a name that they told anybody, somebody would take it, somebody would gank it. So nobody was telling anybody what their band name was until they got pretty much got control of it. They even tried to steal Ocean, the Ocean. But you know what? It's my name. So if you, yeah, yeah, Sagittarians. That's us lovely Sagittarians. We just have to kick them out of everything, don't we? We have those arrows of truth that we shoot all over the place. Gets us in all kinds of trouble. The castrating toads. Do they date the gay frogs? Yeah, I kept expecting somebody to come up with gay frogs. It's turning the frogs gay. It's turning the frogs gay. It's turning the effing frogs gay. Oh my goodness. You imagine going into a bar and there's a frog sitting there all tranny. The castrating toads. Yeah, there's a name. Anyway, I just wanted to give you an update on how I'm doing. I'm feeling better. I have a feeling as soon as I put on another bracelet, I'll have some more detoxing. But I'm going to keep adding them. Once I feel a little bit better, I'm going to add another one. And when I feel a little bit better, I'm going to add another one until I've got quite a strong field going. And once I have that going and don't have a detox reaction anymore to it, then I'll wear that for a while to make sure that they're all out of me and keep taking my Z-Tox to help flush it out of there. I told you about Z-Tox. The Flamey Boot. Flamey Boot? Yeah. Kind of sounds like a medieval torture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to just keep adding them and then probably. Okay, by the way, John, for the necklace, what kind of necklace? Because I want to know, because guys, I don't know. I'm not keeping up on guy styles, okay, that much. But you want, I mean, would it be more like a choker? Would it be more like just a thing that hangs down? Would it be, I would think you would want beads, some of the magnetics all the way around the circumference of your neck. Um, just give me some idea what you're looking for, okay? Yeah, because, but then, right, I think probably the way to go, the way forward is bit by bit, keep upping it, keep amping it up, the magnetics, until I get no more detox effect. You know, if anybody can find anything wrong with that, let me know. Okay, so hold on a minute. Boom, boom. You know, you make me want to shout, kick my heels up and shout, kick my. Okay, now wait a minute, John said. Wait a minute. Gosh, what? Oh, I'm so hot. That's hot. I came up with something else too. When I have a headache, it's not rotating them, but I got a little head thing. I can make you a little circlet for your head to keep you from headaches. Kind of makes me look more like either a hippie or a elf. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to be offering those to. Uh, I don't know how much for. I'll think about it. It feels good though. I haven't had headaches since. I mean, well, I have, but I haven't when I have this on. I've been wearing it quite a bit. I think it's been helping with the headaches. 18 inches? Oh, you're talking about the headband. Oh, gosh. You had me scared for a minute there, John. When a guy just blurts out 18 inches, you're there like, okay, you knew I was going to make a joke out of that. Especially after you say, hold on a minute. The only thing funnier would be, let me just whip this out, like in Blazing Saddles. But anyway, yeah, I look like a hippie. Far out, man. Like, what is your star sign? Let me see your palm. Here, let me give you some more organic coconut water to drink. You look dehydrated. You have very long feet. Yeah, we thought we were boasting, John. We thought, oh, right, right. Yeah. Anyway, see, this just goes to prove that women are way worse than men. When it comes to dirty thoughts, we just think them more and say them less. Most of us, and then there's people like me. I say them more and think them less. I don't know. Well, no, I think them, and then I say them a lot of times. I try to refrain. It's not easy. Not easy to be me. Oh, we knew that about women. Yeah. Well, it's hard sometimes. But rim shot. Anyway, It's hard sometimes. Yep. So I invested in a hell of a lot. Boy, I hope these sell. I invested in a hell of a lot of things like the stretchy string and the magnetic beads and all that shit. So chits, all those chits. So hopefully they'll sell. If not, well, I'll then have to drown myself in a pile of magnetics and see if it kills everything. See, I'll just wear them all myself and say, how do you like me now? Okay. How do you like me now, you little nano mofos? Come at me. Here, we'll do this. Wait, no, we'll use these. Come at me, you little mofos. You little nano mofos. I pity the fool. Okay, whatever. Mr. T. Heard from Mr. T in another dimension. Fighting the nanos. Fighting the nanos, nano fighter. Fighting the nanos, fighting the nanos. Oh. Okay, I'm being silly. Well, like usual. Yeah, it's what you tune in for, is for me to be kind of silly. A little bit. You tune in for some truth and for me to be really silly. That's what I finally figured out. Line my bed with the beads. Yeah, just put them on. That would be kind of funny. Decorate the Jedi poncho with the magnetic beads. I was thinking about that. That would be funny. Make stuff with the magnetic beads attached to the silver. It's like, yeah, now we're now I want to see what you do now, huh? Unfortunately, that's not the only stuff that we're dealing with, but we're dealing with other stuff too. But at least if we can get one of them down, we might survive this whole thing without turning into something else. You know, I do play a game that I kind of got roped in. I don't know how I got cajoled into playing this game. It's a zombie game. And in it, people are not just turning into zombies, they're also mutating. And so you're fighting mutants. And I'm thinking, and the funny thing is, one of the things you do in the game is mine rare earth, like the rare earth magnets. Almost like somebody knows something. Why would mining a rare earth be so important in a zombie game? Kind of interesting. Maybe there's more to this than we know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cue the X-Men theme. Yeah, that was really kind of weird when I realized at a certain level you get to go to the pits and mine rare earth, and it's very valuable. What does that have to do with zombies? Maybe it does have something to do with zombies. What if it does? And how did they know that? Or are there some people who are way down the road farther than we are? Maybe there are. I don't know. I can't prove it anyway. In any event, if their version, the mutations are pretty horrendous. But you got to remember, in the real world, well, no, this is not the real world, but in this Matrix world here, most mutations don't live. They don't make it. A lot of mutations never make it. They so I don't know if we're really gonna have to. Yeah, but that would be a heck of a thing. I hope that that is nothing like right. But I want to get a metallurgic report on the dragon blood or some of the mud fossils I have now with metallic blood. The dragon blood, right? You mean like the dragon bloodstone, dragon blood jasper that we have, and or the dragon's blood. Yeah, because the dragon bloodstone, and you might want to get a report on pipestone if you can get a piece. It's sacred, you know, not that easy to come by. It's supposedly the blood of the ancestors. Oh, some of the mud fossils. You have some, oh, you have some mud fossils yourself with metallic blood? Ooh, isn't that interesting? How do you procure those, or do you just find them? Nano, nano. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Ah, hmm. Well, there is. Yeah, there are veins of blood that's turned to stone and metal. Well, that's why they call them veins, supposedly. A gold vein was literally a vein at one time, supposedly. By the way, if you don't know of Michelle Gibson, I'm going to tell you about Michelle Gibson. You might want to look her up. She's got some theories about the mud flood events. And also, John, here's another area to study. Red mercury. John Levy brought this up. He found it on another site. Red mercury. We need to look into what that is because that is really weird. Red mercury is attracted to blood and gold. It's weird. There's some things it's repelled. I think magnet, and I think it doesn't like magnets, but it likes gold and it likes blood. I forget what all the properties are, but it's weird. But they found it inside some of the Antiquitech. So anything they find in the Antiquitech, we should look up, find out what they were working, what they were doing, because some of it, I think, they might have gone through this before. There is a chance. What I see the pyramids, the Bosnian pyramid, they found out the reason the air and the water was so pristine. It has magnetic rocks everything goes through. The magnetic rocks drop everything out of the water, all the particulate collect and sink. It makes your water pristine and your air pristine. People actually start getting healthier when they work in the Bosnian pyramid. It was free to work on for a long time. People could come and go as they wanted. Then they closed it down for a while, and now I guess they open it back up. I always wanted to go. If I felt better, I would go. When I feel better, I will go. I'll go there and I'll go to East City Ranch. Many floods. Okay, let me check into the mud floods. Okay, Michelle Gibson. And she said there was a type of tech that she found that, you know how you always see a fountain in each one of these Tartarian cities, it's one of their main features, it's a fountain. And some of those older fountains have never stopped flowing. They are flowing even now. Well, she said there was a kind of a building, and the way it was built, it was to pump water. But and continually, it was a sort of a perpetual motion thing. But there were also things in place that would govern how fast and how much. Well, if those got damaged, she speculated that if those were to get damaged, it would probably start pumping out a flood, and even worse, it would at the bottom start pumping out mud. So you'd have a flood, and then you'd have mud being pumped out of some of these places that were pumping water formerly. And it would, it would be like an out of control machine just over pumping and burying town, because some of these facilities were really large. So she thinks maybe that was how the mud floods were created. You damage all these. If you would go around and damage, maybe some of them didn't get damaged, and that's why they're still running properly. Maybe not all of them got damaged. I mean, there are some places where those fountains are pumping today. They're still running. So, yeah, red mercury. And Michelle Gibson is real. She's all about the meridians, things lined up on the meridians and the locations, and anything with more in it, anything said to be Moorish, because really that's the kind of architecture we're talking about. So you want to look into that anywhere around you that has a Moor or a Stan name on a map somewhere. If something has a Stan name, it means it's been influenced. If it has a more Moorish or more like MOR, whatever. Yeah. And there is a building like that, and it is kind of strange. The Masons built it down in Akron, and it is very unusual, and it was also very haunted. I worked in it. They had made it into a theater, but in the inside, it looked like a castle. And they made this where the seating was to look like a Moorish courtyard with the sky and everything, moving clouds and the whole thing. Yeah. Very interesting place. I wanted to tear it down, but people got together and said, "You are not tearing this down. It's too historical." So, well, anything about our history that's important, we got to realize they probably blanked it as much as possible. Uh, and you've got to be a digger in order to find it. Yeah, well, there was another thing that probably needs to be looked into. By the way, the whole microwave thing, I found out. Somebody gave an account of what it is like to get hit with microwave tech. He accidentally got hit by some microwaves from somehow fiddling with his microwave oven. I forget what it was, but anyway, how it happened. Anyway, he got hit by microwaves. He said it was like his whole body was on fire. So if you were to make something that produced that, that would be the effect, probably. And it would be very deterrent, would be a strong deterrent, that's for sure. If you had that, you'd aim that at whatever. Probably wouldn't like it much, any living thing anyway. Like a bear or even a Sasquatch or whatever it was that you were afraid of, or a mountain lion or whatever, you'd aim that at it. It wouldn't kill it, but it would make it run. That's very interesting. And maybe that is what it did. I don't know. but I wouldn't want to be the one to try it. Let's see. Test it on some fool somewhere. You'll find somebody to test it on, right? Yeah. I just want to find out what it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the other thing is, as far as spirituality is concerned, wow, we got it here. You know, we kind of have that weird mix of truth, spirituality, and along with the paranormal and the cryptids and the I believe everything exists. And you know what? It was funny because was I listening to Linda Moulton Howe? And one of the insiders was saying, well, gee, the long and the short of it is, if I really want to put everything short, I can answer all your questions. Everything exists. Just figure it all exists. All your questions that you have about everything, yes, it exists. That's it. And I'm like, oh, if that's the truth, oh, mm. But that's basically what I believe too. I think all it really exists. Uh, you woke up this morning, your head was seeing sacred geometry. Worst hangover? No, not a hangover. You were seeing sacred geometry. Oh, cool, Lewis. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, yeah, you can see if grapes glow. Yeah, sacred geometry, that's something we haven't covered on this show yet. There is, like I said, the flower of life. If it wasn't for Drunvalo of Melchizedek, I may have not stumbled onto the flower of life for quite a bit more time. Is actually the first book that I read that mentioned that. Oh, here's a fun idea. Structured water. Pass it through magnetic field, huh? That makes structured water. Some of these bracelets on my water flask. Now I'm drinking structured water. Yeah. Well, pay attention to that. Hey, Barry, you have great dreams. Transparent and red. You might want to try and draw some of it. It may be important. Remember that guy who was seeing those, uh, he was seeing these numbers and he was trying to write them down, all what he was seeing in his head. And it turned out later when somebody translated it, it really was a message. Maybe you need to write it down somehow, record it somehow. Yeah. I thought, am I a genius or what? I want to be drinking structured water. Well, you pass your water first. It's yeah, when you're passing it through the straw, here's the magnetic field going in opposite ways, right? They would be going in opposite ways because they're attracted to each other. There it is. It comes up the straw. It's being structured right at that moment. So that's my latest genius thing. Maybe that's another way to use those bracelets. Um, make little decorative flasks with the magnets. Little flat. Well, they wouldn't be entirely decorative. They'd be useful too, but I mean decorated with magnetic stuff. I can think of a lot of applications. Oh wow, it's 11 already. Gee whiz. Oh, detoxing a little more. Breathing in those particles. That's okay. They'll leave quickly now. I'm going to make something for around my waist as well. I'm going to make a choker. Actually, I can use this as a choker too. I mean, I can easily pull this down, make a choker, but I'm thinking putting something around my waist and my ankles too. Although I may detox like crazy then after that. Lewis, like I said, there are a lot of messages being given to us. I think you need to see if you can draw it, that it is a message. Right. The astronauts saw symbols. You got to remember, you're in a matrix. All of this stuff is part of it. Okay. When the guy that saw all the numbers, yeah, that would be part of it. The solids, yeah, that would be part of it. All of this stuff would be part of it. Part of the coding, be part of the structure of this. Remember, light codes. We're dealing with off on, off on. We're dealing with light and dark, light, dark, light, dark. We're dealing with polarity here. So, yeah, you probably need to do the best you can at writing it down, at drawing it out. Yeah. You may be getting something that everybody needs. It might be pretty important. So I got a bunch of symbols one time, you know what? And as I was describing it to my friend, I got a bunch of symbols with my third eye one time. When it was soon after I had died and returned, when my awakening was. And when I woke up, a lot of weird stuff started happening. And one of the things that happened was I got all these symbols in my third eye. And my friend who was with me said they were all the Egyptian gods. The symbolism was all Egyptian gods. It was like all the Egyptian gods were saying hello with their symbols. So, but what it looked like to me was really weird. It was almost like watching an Etch-a-Sketch. It was all lines. I wish I had had something to mark it all down with, but it was all going so fast I couldn't even do it, even if I tried. I wouldn't be able to mark it all down. But she was there and she was like, "They're letting you have pictures of them? Oh my God." And she was freaking out. It's like, that's what pictures are like? Is that what you call that? I don't know. I didn't know anything then. Yeah. But if you're getting that, it might be important. Probably is. Yeah. Somebody will be able to interpret them. John or somebody. Yeah, there are patterns. Uh, everything's just a pattern. Everything's just an energy pattern. That's all it is. Sometimes when my friend Paul would be doing the oneness blessings on people, there would be all these lights, these like flash bulbs, like paparazzi flash bulbs going off behind him. And he did it in a church, so there were all the pews, and all the straight lines around him would start to look wavy, zigzaggy. And I finally realized it wasn't my eyes, it was energy lines, because that was the only time I'd see him. So he was actually really affecting the energy when he was doing that. So you got to pay attention when that's happening. You got to pay attention. Like I said, I wish I could have written down some of the stuff that I was getting. I tried. I really tried to keep a diary. You know what? That was one of the things that was really annoying to all of us, is how many times our diaries would go missing, just mysteriously missing, or something would happen to them. Really annoying. Anyway, I'm beginning to get a little tired now. I could probably talk a whole lot more and blather on, but I think I should cut it short and save some energy for tomorrow. I'm going to try and at some point during this week, too, I think we should have another card reading, and we need to have maybe I've been holding off on the healing ceremony until I'm told it's okay. The healing's going to have to be done differently for a while until I'm told it's okay to do it the way I used to. So, or if I'm ever really going to do it quite the way I used to, I don't even know that. So we don't know yet what that's going to be. But no matter what, I'm always looking for some way to help somebody. So it's still going to be that regardless. We're still going to do that. We're still going to be helping people in some way or other, no matter what happens around here. And I love you all. Truth is where you find it. I hope you find some here. And be kind to one another. A lot of things are happening. A lot of people are going to be leaving. A lot of people are going to leave the game. And we just got to deal with that. Don't be surprised. You are divine. Don't forget that. And this is Ocean making waves. Now, go out and make some waves. Love y'all. See you next time.